Chick-fil-A. This is easily one of America's most favorite fast foods. I mean, who doesn't know their iconic chicken sandwich? You've got a perfectly seasoned juicy chicken breast with 2 pickles and buttered buns, and obviously you can't leave without their waffle fries. So it's not hard to believe that every single year since their first store opened back in 1967, their sales have always been higher than the year before. And we're talking about nearly 60 years of revenue growth. So if you're wondering how a family-owned diner turned into a multi-billion-dollar chicken empire, well, stick around. Because in this video, we're going to take a look at how Chick-fil-A built their business. In 1946, Truett Cathy and his brother opened a little diner named Dwarf Grill, which was later changed its name to the Dwarf House. They got a lot of customers from the local factory, but traditional fried chicken takes way too long to prepare for them, so to save time, Cathy started experimenting with new cooking methods in the kitchen. He ended up using a pressure cooker and peanut oil to trap the heat and speed up the process. And the result was so good that he decided to put a patent on it. And while most fast food chains tend to expand their menu to catch up with the trends, Chick-fil-A has always stuck to chicken sandwiches. Well, of course they have a few other things too, like waffle fries and nuggets, which become everyone's favorites, but Chick-fil-A like to keep the menu simple. And that pays off really well because people are happy with the quality of food and services they get here. In fact, Chick-fil-A just ranked first in the American Customer Satisfaction Index for the 11th consecutive year. So naturally, when a business finds a winning formula like that, they get highly ambitious. It's not rare to see a company take all their profits and borrow millions from the bank to aggressively open thousands of new locations. But Chick-fil-A didn't do that. They chose to expand slowly with little to no debt. So for the first 20 years, Chick-fil-A exclusively operated inside American shopping malls. They did this because mall spaces were much smaller and way cheaper to build. Only after they became larger and more competitive, they finally started building standalone restaurants and drive-thrus. And because of it, they have a much smaller footprint than their rivals. McDonald's has around 13,500 locations, Wendy's has over 6,000, and Chick-fil-A only has about half of that. But every single one of their restaurants performs very well. A Chick-fil-A restaurant generated $7.5 million in a single year. That is nearly double what a standard McDonald's restaurant makes, and way above any other fast food chain in the country. All that they achieved while operating only 6 days a week. Just like their slow approach to build restaurants, Chick-fil-A is also very picky when selecting their franchisees. With each store making over $7 million a year, there are thousands of rich investors begging to be part of the business. Every single year, around 40,000 applicants submit a proposal to them. But out of everyone who applies, Chick-fil-A only accepts about 100 operators. That puts their acceptance rate way under 1%. And if you get selected, you are required to be a full-time manager every day. You aren't allowed to run any other active businesses on the side, and they even limit the numbers of locations you can operate. But despite all these rules, thousands of people still line up to apply. The initial investment to open their restaurant is only $10,000. Meanwhile, a major chain like McDonald's requires you to pay $40,000 to $45,000 for the franchise fee and up to $2 million in total investment. So the entry fee is so cheap because Chick-fil-A retains complete ownership. They buy the land, build the restaurant, and own all the equipment. And because they take on all that risk, they demand higher royalties in return. While a normal chain takes about 4 to 5% of your sales, Chick-fil-A will take 15% of sales plus 50% of all net profits. It might sound intense, but this system is designed to weed out lazy investors and find genuine partners. And because they end up with good people who are that committed, it completely changes the culture for the rest of the staff. In general, fast food chains have a turnover rate of over 130% a year. This means most locations are constantly replacing and retraining their entire crew. But Chick-fil-A has a great workplace culture, and people seem happy to work there. In fact, their turnover rate is only about half of the industry average. Well, Chick-fil-A is also giving out unusual perks, such as scholarships for their restaurant team members and local community leaders. Like up to this year, they gave out a $29 million scholarship for their frontline staff. With that kind of support, no wonder they have friendly employees and great customer service. But their story hasn't always been smooth. During the 2000s, the company and its charitable foundation donated millions of dollars to organizations that oppose same-sex marriage. At first, most people didn't pay much attention to it, but as more info became public, the donations began attracting more attention. Things took another turn in 2012, when Truett's son, Dan Cathy, publicly shared his views on gay marriage. The comments sparked a wave of criticism and led to boycott campaigns against the company. And as the backlash continued, Chick-fil-A eventually stopped commenting on the topic and later changed the way it handled charitable donations. What's even more surprising is that the controversy had little effect on their business. While the company spent years dealing with criticism, their sales still increased by 13% in the same year. And it was also the first time for them to reach $4 billion in sales. So now we know how Chick-fil-A got to where they are today. But where do they go from here? Outside the US, the company has expanded into Canada, the UK, and most recently Singapore. They're also finding new ways to reach customers, like Chick-fil-A sauces and waffle potato chips that are available in grocery stores. So what do you think? Does Chick-fil-A still make the best chicken sandwich in America, or is there something else that sets them apart? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching.